It's now 6 o'clock. That being the case, we'll call this meeting to order. This being the March meeting of the Dawson County Planning Commission. We'll begin with invocation from Neil Hornsby, if you would, please, Neil.
Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful county we live in, and I just pray that you can guide us to make the right decisions on these cases we hear tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Ask those who would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. This time we will have our roll call. Let the record show that there are 4 of us present. Oh, and I see us here now. The record will show that there's 4 of us present. The only one being absent is Shelt Townley, but we do have enough for a quorum, so we will continue on tonight. Under announcements, under approval of minutes, gentlemen, I assume you've had opportunity to look at the minutes. Is there any amendments that need to be made? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second. Motion is second to approve the minutes. All in favor? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion is carried 4-0. Minutes are approved from last meeting. The agenda presented by staff, assume you've had opportunity to look over it as well. Is there any amendments to be made? If not, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Move to second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion is carried 4-0 as well. We'll begin with each applicant. After the applicant, we will then hear from those wishing to speak in favor of the application, followed by those speaking in opposition. Each individual wishing to address the board will be allotted 3 minutes in accordance with the zoning regulations. All speakers are required to sign in and state their name and address for the record. Speakers must address the Planning Commission and not other members of the public. Any individual speaking in favor of or in opposition of an application who has made campaign contributions in excess of $250 to any local official campaign is required to complete a disclosure of campaign contribution form, which you can find up here at the desk. We'll begin with new business, application for variance VA 26-30. Christopher Licardi has filed an application with the appropriate authority seeking relief from the requirements of Dawson County Land Development Code, Article 9, Chapter 129, 223-2B, which limits site face area to a maximum of 48 square feet and maximum height of 10 feet. He's looking for 80 feet and 15 feet. If you would, please write your name and address on the piece of paper there on the podium, after which, if you would, please state your name for the record. You would please give us a presentation and a necessity for a variance in excess of the height and the square footage that we commonly have.
My name is Caleb Lichardi, owner of Clean Slate Imaging, and I'm here representing the property owner of 35 Lumpkin Campground Road in Dawsonville. And I apologize in advance if I sound jittery or tired. I have a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old boy at home, and maybe I had 2 hours of sleep in the past 48 hours, so I apologize. We are requesting a 15-foot, 80-square-foot sign for the BP gas station under construction currently. Our hardship right now is that we feel this site cannot compete competitively with the Circle K down the road. A sign built to current code would significantly undersized for this location, would place the business at a disadvantage compared to the nearby competitors. The Circle K, I think, is probably like close to 30 feet, and you can see it clearly from the parking lot standing in the lot of the BP gas station that's coming. This is not a very excessive signage request. The proposed sign would still be smaller than several other gas stations in the area. It would be smaller than probably like 90% of the other monuments in the area, even though I know there are mixed-use developments and like commercial office space. So the signage probably, I'm sure the code is a little different. Signage is rarely one size fit all. Each site has a unique characteristics. The store owners put a lot of money into it. And when I say his gas stations are a higher quality than any other gas station being built today. It's and if we just put a tiny sign, I feel like it would be a awful reflection of all the work put into the site. The variance request is simply intended to accommodate the realities of the site, ensure that he can compete effectively with the other competitors in the area. Thank you.
So to be clear, you're not the owner,
No, I'm the contractor.
okay? Do you work with the sign company?
I am the sign company.
You are the sign company?
Yes.
Okay. So it is your job to put up signs, right?
Correct. I've been doing it for close to 20 years.
Okay. You've mentioned several of the other gas stations in the area, and a lot of those, just for your information, were built prior to a sign ordinance. that's been
Yes,
put in the county.
I completely understand.
And you're asking for 15 feet tall instead of 10 and 80 feet versus 48. That's correct, right? Okay.
Yes, with the, I don't want to say I didn't draw the sign exactly to scale, but it's about 5 feet of height is brick, a brick base.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, any other questions to staff or any other questions?
I'd also state that the sign is about 30 feet set back off the road also, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Is there anyone here speaking in favor of the application? Is there anyone speaking in opposition to the application? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on a piece of paper that's there on the podium. And after you write your name and address, please state your name. And after you state your name, your 3 minutes will start.
Gentlemen, my name is Jane Graves. Graves as in tombs, like the things they bury you in. I had sent an email to all of you, so I don't want to read that out. I'm sure you can all read. So I just wanted to summarize. Basically, it's a safety issue as well, as we know how congested that particular area is, and it doesn't really show on the site map. And I mentioned about Hightower and all the other driveways. What would be helpful is knowing where that driveway is rather than a giant sign. One of the things that fails to meet the variance criteria, I noticed that the hardship is self-created. And the applicant has chosen the sign design that exceeds the code. So that is a self-created issue. And primary economic benefit, variances typically cannot be granted solely for marketing and visibility purposes. That's the intent of a sign ordinance. And as you mentioned, many of the other monument signs and other signs for gas stations were there prior to the sign ordinance. So just to go ahead and summarize, the requested variance would increase the permitted sign by 60% and increase the height by half as much again as the county allows, generating greater distraction and extremely congested, dangerous intersection where driver attention and visibility are critical. Adding to the cluster of confusion, there are multiple commercial roadways and driveways either side of 53 and Lumpkin Campground Road, and the lights, and dual directional suicide lane for the left and right turns. Particularly problematic is the catty corner turn in and out of Hightower, which is catty corner across from that medical building on the other side. And if you've driven that area at a busy time of day, that is horrendous to try and get across from that suicide lane. Plus it's industrial traffic, Mack trucks and concrete trucks going in and out of there. There was a KCI traffic study 3 or 4 years ago that talked about trying to make that a pedestrian-friendly area. Well, this is not helping in that at all. So the suicide lane serves a constant flow of large concrete and Mack trucks that are inbound and outbound to that area. The last thing I would say is with GIS and Google Maps and Waze World, who needs larger signs when our smartphones can tell us exactly where the gas station of choice is? Displaying signage without displaying signage within the code is sufficient to conform. Sorry. 3 minutes is up.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, any discussion?
How long, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How long has the new sign ordinance been in effect? Approximately. So,
The gas station.
the gas station.
If you're looking for gas, you'll pull in the gas station.
You'll find it.
Is there a motion?
Motion to deny.
Second.
Moving a second to deny. All in favor of denial? The motion is carried 3-0 with one abstention being me. Your variance has been denied. Okay, thank you. VA 26-31. William Good has filed an application with appropriate authority seeking relief from the requirements of the Dawson County Land Development Code. Article 3, Chapter 121-67, requiring 15-foot side setbacks. The applicant is requesting a 5-foot reduction to allow a side setback of no less than 10 feet from his property line. Someone here to speak for Mr. Good. You would please come forward, write your name and address on the piece of paper there on the podium. The record, please state your name.
Yes, I am William Good.
Would you please give us a brief presentation of your necessity of a variance?
We have been planning for several years actually to add on a garage to our home. We live in a small ranch home and I operate a business out of my home that we're licensed here in Dawson County and stuff. And so I've paying for several storage facilities, my materials scattered around and stuff. So we've been waiting till we could afford to do this out of pocket without having to finance this and stuff like that. So several years ago, I was a general contractor. I'm retired now, but I actually built several garages in the neighborhood that were, before the code changed, were within as much as 5 feet of the property line for a detached garage. And I think it was 10 feet at one time for an attached garage. So we were going on the premise that this would not be an issue. We actually had a design done to make it aesthetically appropriate and stuff for the neighborhood. None of my neighbors that I know of, and we've talked with everybody that lives around us, has a problem with us doing this, and we want to keep it in with the integrity of the neighborhood. So when we applied for the permit, we found out that the code had changed and now it was 15 feet. I don't think that 5 feet of a variance is much to ask. I still have drive around access around the property and it's not inhibiting my neighbors to that side of the property at all. I did give Leah the plan here, so you can see the part of the house that's there in the roof, which would be a carport, and the attached garage on the back. We actually shifted it to the left to cover over part of the rear of the property so we wouldn't encroach any further onto the property line. But any less than that, and we literally would not be able to put even a one-car space in there or a garage in there. So that's the reason we're asking for the variance.
How long have you lived here?
We moved in 1989.
You mentioned in your application that you had storage that is no longer there. Is that correct?
Yes, in the back of our lot, without our knowledge, when we bought the property, back when there was not an inspection department of much here, the builder that built there buried 2 trash holes back there, so it made it kind of bad to be able to put a foundation in the back. We had a storage building, move-in storage building that actually collapsed back there that we had to get rid of, is why our stuff is in storage buildings too until we can get this built, so.
Any questions of the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Does anyone speak in favor of the application? Seeing none, is anyone to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time, we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, any discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Moving a second to approve. All in favor? Motion is carried 3-0. You have your variance. Application for rezoning, SU 26-158. Laurie Veerhoven with Sky Acres Farm has filed an application with appropriate authorities seeking relief from the requirements of the Dawson County Land Development Code, Article 3, Chapter 121-7-4, Table 3-1, horse riding stables. Is someone here to speak for Laurie Veerhoven? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on the piece of paper there on the podium. For the record, please state your name.
Lori Verhoeven.
And if you would, please give us a reason for the rezoning special use application.
Sure. The main reason is to request to submit it as part of a new business license application following the expiration of my prior license. And I wanted to just make sure that, to kind of clarify that current agricultural equine activities conducted. So mainly I went to work full time. My daughter now has been asked to do training for horses. And so we had 2 or 3 people ask if she could do some training. So mainly it's so that she can take in clients, no more than 2 to 3 clients. All they do is they bring their horses, she trains them, and they usually stay a month to 2 months, and then they go back home. So it's mainly just so that she can earn some extra money so that she can put herself through college. It's only temporary. They're not there full time. It's a trained individual. They're trained individually, and then they leave the property once the training is done.
Are you looking to build any other structures?
No, sir.
No additional structures and no heavy traffic coming in and out?
None, mainly just to drop off a horse, maybe once a month. They maybe will pick it up at the end, maybe do a lesson before they pick it up and then go, but they don't continually come in.
You mentioned that you had a business license, but it expired.
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been doing this type of business?
We've been at our existing address for 10 years. We've done it the full 10 years before I went back to teaching full-time at the high school. So then I pretty much didn't do it. So it was a lapse. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do it. And then Lily, my daughter, she competes full-time with the horses that we own. And so she wanted to pick up some extra money. So just this past year, I wanted to go ahead and renew it. So we've been doing this, since we've been doing it now 20 years when we lived prior.
Any questions of the applicant? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone speaking in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time, we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, any discussion? Is there a motion?
To approve.
Second.
Moving a second to approve. All in favor? Motion is carried 3-0 with 1 abstention. This will go before the Board of Commissioners next month, so you'll need to present it before them. We have made a recommendation to approve. SU 26-159, Brittany Parker with Summit Ranch Equestrian Park has filed an application with the appropriate authorities seeking relief from the requirements of the Dawson County Land Development Code, Article 3, Chapter 121-74, Table 3-1, horse riding stables. Is someone here to speak for Brittany Parker? If you would, please come forward. Write your name and address on a piece of paper on there on the podium.
Hi,
For the record, please state your name.
my name is Brittany Parker. Let me pull up, sorry. Good evening, my name is Brittany Parker. I'm here on behalf of Summit Ranch Equestrian Park. We are requesting rezoning so that we can continue our business doing what we're doing now. So we're already doing boarding. We have horses that people own and they live on the property. And so The farm is more of a business, is more than a business to us. We also teach lessons and different things like that, and we bring kids in, and we love them. That's our team of people back there that, you know, they're all here to support us and show you guys how much we bring into this, into the county. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we just love the place. We just want to continue doing what we're already doing. And it was previously zoned like this in 2017, and then it sold to a new lady. And when it sold, they removed the zone, and then now we're reapplying. So, yeah.
So how long has Summit Ranch owned the property?
Summit Ranch does not own the property. The property is owned by Vera Mia LLC, which is Lynette Connectiony. She is a part owner of our LLC of the Summit Ranch Equestrian Park, but we rent the facility from her. She has owned the property for about a year and a half. Summit Ranch has been here since December, or since Summit Ranch Equestrian Park has been here since January 1st.
Okay. And are you looking to increase the facilities?
No.
Build more structures?
No.
Bring in more clientele?
We are looking to bring in more clientele. I mean, we currently have about 28 horses on the property. It's 56 acres. And we're bringing it, I mean, we want more boarders, of course, you know, fill up the facility.
Application that said 80. Is that what you're looking at?
I believe that was the previous plat.
Okay, so how many horses are you looking to have on the property?
We will max out at 37.
And will you be hosting events throughout the night? Will there be loudspeakers and such stuff as that?
We would like to host events. We will mostly be doing it during the day though, and we'll follow all county ordinances of the, you know, the 10 p.m. quiet time and stuff.
Any questions to the applicant? Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the application? If you would, please come forward. That'd be just fine.
Can you stand with me? Is that okay?
He can. If he speaks a whole lot, you'll need to write his name down, but
He
other than
wants
that.
to talk. My name is Michelle Crum, and I'm actually Brittany's mom. I live here in the county, and I have helped out with Summit Ranch now for a while. I was actually part of Summit Ranch, the property when years ago when it was actually even part of the Verhovens, and then Debbie and Leslie years ago. But I want to share with you a few things, and I know I've got a timer. I always say, I'm going to read, they say that it takes a village to raise a child. And I think it also takes a larger village to raise the child, to help the community that the child lives in. The vision behind Summit Ranch is to become a pillar here in the community. We want to bring horse programs, trainings, promoting physical activity through horseback riding and caring for horses. These programs are also going to provide educational opportunities for animal care and agriculture. We actually already have 2 organizations that do want to have some shows at our facility. I am familiar with how to fill out the form to have a special event. I actually was part of bringing the rodeo here to Dawson County through Rotary Club. And so, which I'm excited we're going to do again this year, hopefully with y'all's approval. But we're going to our plans are to join the chamber, to have a ribbon cutting. We want to be pillars here in the community. We want the facility to be enjoyed by all. We really do, and that's just our heart. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to put my address? No. Sorry.
Is there anyone else speaking in favor of the application? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on a piece of paper there on the podium. For the record, please state your name.
Hello, my name is Candace Weaver. live in Cumming, and we are fairly new to Summit Ranch as in February. So we recently moved to Georgia about a year and a half ago, and my daughter is a part of their community. And I just want to express the importance of what it's brought for my daughter and for me, being a part of it. She has a hard time with individuals at school and just being felt like she's a part of the school. So there's really not a community there for her there. And writing is a passion for her, but writing alone becomes lonely. And so what Summit Ranch has provided so far, and only to see how the other girls have come together and how they only have a community of their for themselves too, is it makes you feel like you have a family when you don't have a village around you at all. And how Michelle, the mother of Brittany, and Brittany herself has really taken in my daughter and the kindness, and we're able to give back and volunteer. My daughter volunteers on Saturdays to feed the horses to really help reduce the cost of it. But for somebody that wants to go to work and show up for an hour and then, Mom, come please pick me up, she will stay there for a good 6, 7, 8 hours. And I'm like, it's time to come home. So I just want you to know the value of Summit Ranch is truly not just a recreational place for horses and for people to learn, but it's truly is that pillar of a community and family for kids to grow and learn social skills and being a part of that, and just feeling like they belong in a world that feels so big and so lonely at times. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else speak in favor of the application? Please come forward, write your name and address on a piece of paper there on the podium. For the record, please state your name.
And my name's Kimberly Nelson. And I'm just going to reiterate what Candace just said as a mom. Sorry. um, this place has been amazing for my daughter. Therapeutic wise, she was in a car accident about a year ago. And it took us a while to kind of to find Brittany. Just truly by the grace of God, we found Brittany, and we found Summit Ranch. And my daughter had ridden for many years before, kind of been out of it in high school, doing all the things. And she's like, I want to ride again. I'm like, okay, well, let's find somewhere to ride again. The first day we were there, it was just like, wow, this place feels right. The way that Brittany and Nathan, her husband, they just love these girls. Because there aren't any boys there, but as you can see, all our girls are here. And it's just a place where they can just be in nature. Like my daughter worked, like she said, 8 hours on a Saturday. Mom, can I go up to the barn? Absolutely go. They're safe there. They love it there. They are nurtured, and they are really, like, my daughter has just blossomed in the last little bit, just being there. We haven't been there long, but it has been life-saving for her. It really has. She's going to UNG in the fall, and she can't wait to be only 20 minutes from there. And she's like, I don't even need to be paid. I just want to be there. I just want to be there with the horses and with people. And so I can really see how this place can be such a pillar for the community. Really just reaching teenagers. Teenagers are hard to reach, and when you get them, you get them. And so this place has really been amazing for our family and for all of these other girls too. So we love it there.
Thank you. Does anyone else speak in favor of the application? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on paper there on the podium. the record, please state your name.
Tiffany Powell. My daughter has been struggling with a lot of medical things and since kind of August. We really struggle with school, being able to function at school. We're having seizures and everything that's just triggered at school. But we can go and be at Summit Ranch and be nurtured by them with the horses. And we do not have any episodes of the seizures or anything. It really has changed her. Before, she wouldn't go spend the night anywhere and stay away. She'll go on Friday nights, and I can't make her come home till Sunday. She goes and she stays, and it's such a blessing to have them in the community to be able to help her, because God knows that we've struggled. We've been trying to figure out how to help her, and the horses in this community helps.
Thank you. Is
Thank you.
there anyone else speak in favor of the application? If you would, please come forward. Got your name and address on a piece of paper. And please state your name.
Nathaniel Parker. So, as you've heard from a lot of our parents, this is more than just a horse facility. It's more than just making money. Of course, we have to make money to keep the lights on, which hence the wanting to host shows and wanting to be able to actually do business. This is for the kids. All right. Every last one of them. Every last one of them comes with their own story. Every last one of them comes with their own baggage, like all of us do. All right. Our only goal is to be able to reach kids where they're at, doing something that they enjoy doing, which is horses. That's really about it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Anyone else speak in favor of the application? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on the paper on the podium.
Excuse me.
State your name.
My name's Josh Bass, and I'm the gardener. And in seeking, relief from the Land Development Act code, a lot of people said some of the things that I wanted to say, but it allows the growth that we need to be able to do what we're doing more. And when I'm there, what I observe and notice is people that will, live in a camper in order to make their dreams come true. And I see kids working instead of sitting around on a phone. And I see people stopping to ask questions and asking about the different programs that they do and what they can do. And from my point of view, it can do nothing but benefit the community, and by being able to provide more of the services that the community wants, as well as some of the events and things that would draw dollars to the economy and dollars here where we can keep doing the things that we want to do. And it's, of course, business is business, but without the kids around, to me, it's all for naught. And a lot of what we're striving to do hinges on being able to grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else speak in favor of the application? Seeing none, anyone to speak in opposition to the application? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on a piece of paper.
It's not necessarily opposition. I just have questions. Is that the same thing?
We have your name already. So
Yes.
you're Ms. Verhoeven, correct?
Yes, correct. Really, it's mainly just questions about the events that are going to take place, because I know you don't have to have a special event permit if you're going to have 100 and under, but is that including 100 people that are going to be riding horses during the event? Is that including people that are going to be watching? Like, how many people can be on there for the special event permit? And then also, how many events are they wanting to hold? We live directly behind the park, I guess now it's called. And so we can see the lights, we can hear, the voices and over the intercom come directly to our house because there's a valley right there. So it comes directly. And so mainly we just kind of want to know what going forward, are there going to be, stipulations put in place for those events? How many can they have? Lights have been left on before overnight. But yeah, there was an event that day. So I think the lights were just left on because they have people coming and riding horses. And it's not that we're opposing any of the growth necessarily, but it's how much growth and how frequent and how fast is it going to grow, because we also share the easement. Our driveway is an easement that we share with them. So when you come in the property, the easement is there, and then you can go straight to go to the arena or go left to go to our house, and our house is directly, like I said, behind the arena. So mainly it's just some questions or concerns. We're not opposed to what they're doing. They've done it for a while. So it's mainly just kind of what's going on with the events. How many boarders are they going to have? How much more people? Because like I said, we do share that area with them. So it's a little concerning.
Thank you. Is there anyone else speaking opposition? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on the piece of paper there on the podium.
Name's Jay Verhoeven. I'm Lori's husband. We've lived there for 10 years. We are an equestrian family also, so we totally understand what they're doing. My biggest concern is the same thing that Lori just mentioned, is concerned because I live directly behind it, is the number of people. I know that they want to have events. That's my biggest concern. I live there. I have to drive in and out of that property because my house is there. So to bring the public, it can be a safety issue for me and my family. And that's kind of where I'm at, is my big job is to protect my family, and bringing the public in opens me up to safety issues. I'm not against equestrian. I'm not against training kids and having them come. I think that's awesome. We've done that our whole lives with our kids. I'm more concerned about the events for my family and safety of my property. So that's my biggest concern.
Thank you. Is there anyone else speaking opposition to the application? Seeing none at this time, we'll close the board for discussion. For clarification's sake, this is a special use permit that's been applied for. This is not a commercial use that's been applied for. Richard, could you please speak to, and I know the verbiage has changed over the course of our last reworking of the zoning laws. So could you speak toward the events? How often, how many, and how many people?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So the property is zoned agriculture, and it would stay zoned agriculture. This is essentially a zoning case to allow an agribusiness that could have a variety of things, you might say, under the umbrella of horse riding stables that are related. But if there is a proposed event that has 100 or more total participants, and that could include the people in the stands, the participants that are going to be riding horses, the volunteer or paid employees, if there happened to be, let's say, a bigger event that had a food vendor or two, a food truck or something like that. It's really just, if there's going to be 100 or more people on a property for a special event, it's typically going to be allowed as long as it's reasonable. The intent behind a special event permit through the county and somebody can get up to 12 per year typically, unless they're on an event center that is a wedding and events center that has been both allowed and has a active county business license, and everything's compliant on the property in terms of structures. But in this case, we're talking about a county special event permit, and so max 12 per year. And really, it's for public safety and environmental health, where, a couple of months typically before the event, somebody works with our staff. It's the business license person typically who is the cat herder in this case, and they just coordinate between the applicant and different departments. One spot in the application is, are you going to serve alcohol? If alcohol is going to be present on the property, then separately, we do have an alcohol special event permit, and that's different and is pretty strict. That's typically Board of Commissioners. But here with the general special event permit, the folks who give input are the sheriff's office. How's traffic flow going to be? Where are people going to park? What are the hours of operation? The fire, EMS folks, they're going to want to know, is all the, safety plan going to be in operation? And if there's, they also cross over into some environmental health about sanitary things, and then environmental health. And they're going to look at, are there going to be porta potties? Where are they going to be? Is it on well or Etowah water and sewer? What's the water source? And if it's well, when you have a good size event, sometimes environmental health may just want to, confirm that everything's going to be straight. It's really all about giving public safety and the health department a heads up of what's coming. And then depending on, what kind of food's going to be served, what the hours of operation, if there's going to be alcohol, then there may be additional requirements or things, heads up. But generally, the intent, kind of like with the circus at the outlet mall or a rodeo, the intent is for them, if they're good, legit events to happen, just for public safety and environmental health to have that heads up.
And that would be on any location throughout the county, correct? Special use permit that would have to be applied for.
Any property, it would be, that's right. There are a couple of, unusual places where, say, for example, the outlet mall is the entertainment overlay district, the only property in the county. There might be, some extra things where they can have some extra allowances. But generally, yes, that's correct. 100 people or more, county special event permit.
So for the general day-to-day residential agriculture with a special use permit to have an equestrian facility would not allow more than 100 people there at any given time unless they had a special use permit for that day, correct?
That's right. A couple of months ahead of time, they would apply. And then once it's been vetted through public safety and environmental health, then as long as it's a little more basic, not alcohol, then the county manager, it can be totally in-house. The county manager can be the final sign-off. And then separately, if there's alcohol, the Board of Commissioners would need to review that separate matter for alcohol.
Thank you.
I have a question for him as well.
Yes, go ahead.
So because it's because it's an application per event, if issues become known to the county, such as issues with noise, issues with this, issues with that, would that be taken into account whether it's approved or not?
It could be. Unfortunately, all this zoning case and a county special event permit, they're not written for either one of these two groups. They're written for the worst case scenario. And fortunately, we rarely have that, but there has been, I've been involved in the past in a different jurisdiction where it was a fly-by-night type rodeo where it was, kind of, homemade and good tasting, but questionable sanitary food. And then just kind of, cases of beer brought in and went until late at night. And there was questions about a variety of potentially, luckily, nobody in that case got, killed or anything like that. But it was something where after that, it was, no more. Yeah, and that particular one.
Thanks, sir. This time we'll close, we are closed board for discussion as far as that goes. Any discussion, gentlemen? Is there a motion?
Motion to recommend approval.
I'll second.
Moving a second to recommend approval. All in favor? Motion is carried, 3-0, one abstention being myself. Once again, this will both go before the Board of Commissioners next month. You will need to appear and present them. We make recommendations to them and they act upon them later on. Updates by community development. Richard? Item K, adjournment. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Gentlemen, we are adjourned. Thank you.